What's up, guys? It's Simon. So, today I might be looking down at a book because I wrote some notes and, about what I'm going to be talking about. Not many. Most of them are going to be read pretty quickly. Um, and I may also be looking down because, like I've said in previous videos, I'm a fidgeter. And I'm trying out this new thing of fidgeting with my pendulum. So that way, there's just raw energy going into something and it's kind of like being imbued with my energy and connecting with me. I was kind of reminiscing, before I get into what I'm actually talking about, I'm going to say this. I was reminiscing and going down memory lane, watching some of Tiptoe Chick's old videos. And she talked about how sometimes she would fidget with her pendulum, like just play around with it. And it's like, oh, that's a really good idea. Help connect it to you more and just feed it more energy, And I love doing videos, so it's not going to be negative energy that's going into it. So if you're a magical practitioner, pagan, witch, what have you, whatever you feel comfortable calling yourself, and you have a pendulum, or I don't know, maybe a prayer stone, or a meditation stone, or you make like a surrogate dolly that represents you when you can't be present in spell work or ritual or something that you feel comfortable um, just fiddling around with and getting it into your energy, getting used to your energy, and just imbuing it with your energy and all that. Try it out. Um, this is actually it's the second pendulum that I've bought, but it's the first pendulum that I have that was like made as a pendulum, like the crystal was cut with that pointed shape. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense. Like I have some pendulums. I have like one that's a crystal pendulum, but it was a crystal that I just turned into a pendulum, like with some wire wrapping and stuff like that. And the same thing with the other one, which I'm not quite sure what it is. It's sparkly and silvery. If I could easily get it out, I would show it to you guys, but I can't do it one-handed. And then I have the first pendulum I ever bought, which is also a bloodstone pendulum, but it's like bloodstone chips in a capsule with a little bloodstone bead at the top. I don't know if you can see that. This one has it, and I think this one's a little smaller. Anyway, I love this, and I'm gonna be. This one's been working on my. I mean, not working. This one's been sitting on my altar. In fact, I'm going to show you guys in a minute. So this is where it sits. This is just a little shell, and I stuffed the hole with some Spanish moss, so that way the chain just sits closer to the front, and it's easier for me to pick it up. Of course, it's hard to do it one-handed and looking through the lens, but and now it keeps on falling out of my hand. There we go. So, and this was one that had one of those little holes in it, and just cradles so nicely. So, yep, that's the little thing that's on the god side. And, yep, that's the little home for the pendulum. Okay, so now you got a little backstory. I am going to say one more thing, or rather talk about one more thing, before I go into the topic of this video. I don't remember if I did a video where you saw it or not, but I did, I didn't shave, but I did a very close trim, and, oh, that's right, yeah, you didn't see it, because that was supposed to be in the Solomon montage, but that didn't happen. Um, so anyway, on Solomon, I did a very close shave, trim, and it's been growing back and everything, and that's because I'm participating in No Shave November, or a lot, more popularly known as, excuse me, I have an itch, as Noshember. And the reason why I'm doing it is because, I'm trying to honor my masculinity. Kind of like how October is the feminine cancer month. Feminine cancer month. It's not really, but it is predominantly centered around females with breast cancer. Just like November is the men's cancer month, and it's centered around prostate cancer. However, both of them, as regards to all months of the year, um, you can still honor all types of cancer and donate to all types of cancer, period, obviously. But I'm going to put about what I think, I don't know, I'm going to put a few links down. One's going to be talking to you about what the prostate is and where it's located and the types of ailments that can come with it and the symptoms and stuff like that and how to treat it and check on it and stuff like that. It is a male organ only, kind of like the ovaries are for women. The prostate is for men. And oh darn, I looked it up, but now I forgot. I don't remember what the prostate's for. I looked it up just before I was doing this video so I could be fresh in my mind, and I still forgot. But it will be down there, and if it doesn't mention in those links, you can always look it up by yourself. But I'm going to be putting those links below. It's going to be a medical link that talks about the prostate. It shows a quick diagram. So if you're not comfortable with seeing that type of stuff, don't click it. I'm going to try and like label the links so that way you know which is which. I'm going to also have about 2 or 3 Nosember links, and it's going to talk about the concept of it. It's going to talk about the rules, which are really guidelines. That talks about how women can participate, how corporate men can participate. You know, if you are not allowed to grow out your beard, there are other guidelines, and then there's the original basic guidelines for not shaving. Now, some people go about it where they don't shave or trim the body at all. The original concept was just the mustache and beard. That's kind of why it's been regarded as a male cancer month, male cancer awareness month rather. And to go a little more personally about why I'm doing this, it does have to do with me tapping into my masculinity, honoring the fact that I'm a man, and honoring the fact that I identify as a man, honoring the fact that I express as a man. So this is one of the reasons why I'm engaging in it. Another reason is because I had a great grandfather who died of old age and Alzheimer's, but he did suffer through prostate cancer at one point. And he did, I think he went through hormone therapy and he made out through okay. Then I had a great uncle, my only great uncle. He suffered through prostate cancer. I believe he did chemo. I don't know. He did some type of treatment and it went into submission as well. However, it ended up coming back and he did die from it. And so this is kind of to honor him as well as just honoring being a man, period. And just, I know that I can't really donate any money right now, and I don't really spend money on grooming supplies anyway. But I did want to talk about it and bring awareness that way. I know I have a good number of subscribers. I'm hoping that all of you at least check it out, show whatever type of support you can, and at least just show respect towards it. You know, because it is a real thing, and it's sad. Even, you know, for the women who don't get prostate cancer, they still suffer in a sense where they lose their husband, they lose their father, they lose their brother, they lose an uncle. You know, it affects the whole family because it is still a cancer. Uh, you know, I know it took his daughter and wife, it took a real toll on them. And of course for the rest of the family too, but you know, that was his immediate family, so it affects them just a wee bit more. Because, especially his wife, because she was there, not nursing him, but taking care of him through his ailment. So that's the little thing about that. So if you see me going through stuff, it's not me being lazy like in past videos where I just didn't take care of it. It's actually for the Nosember event. So now that that's all said, and not necessarily out of the way, but now that it's said, let's talk about what this video is. So this video is the second week of the YouTube Pagan Challenge, and we're gonna be talking about how did you find your path. Now, this is going to be one of the first videos that ignites, I don't want to say video series, but ignites, I guess, like some subtopics that relate to the YouTube Pagan Challenge question. And, gosh, I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about this because this isn't going to be the only question where I do stuff like that. So this one is, how did you find your path? Some other videos that will be popping up, if not today, sometime during this week. There's going to be 3 of them, and one of them is going to be called My Gay Experience. You're just going to have to wait to find out what that exactly means. Another one's going to be The Wiccan Read Explained. I'm going to share with you a book, too, that I found. And another one's going to be a video response called I'm an Old Soul, and the video response goes out to Samantha Valens. So yeah, check out those. Stay tuned for those videos. They'll be coming out sometime this week. There's gonna be other ones like the altar shrine sacred space question. I'm gonna be doing a video response to the Lady Grave Dancer about when she did her like setting up an altar. One of that I really can't wait to do is the one about familiars, and I'm trying to remember. Is it familiars and totem animals or just familiars? Yeah, it's familiars and animal totems. Oops, dropped a pendulum. Ooh, you're all up and close and personal. Whoops. But, oh, did I write it down here? I'm not seeing it. Well, I know that with the familiar one, I'm going to be, I'm going to make a separate video talking about animal totems and all the different kinds. And talking about one called animal helpers, which I don't think a lot of people know about. And I can't remember if I just like discovered it on my own or if I found it on a website or what, but I'm going to be sharing you my experience with the animal helper. Maybe even interject a little picture if I can get one of the animal helper that's in my life. And I'm going to do another one that's called Surrogate Familiars. That one's going to be really fun. I'm really excited about doing that. And a little brief summary of what that's going to be about is basically if you're in a position where you can't have an animal, let alone a familiar pet, whatever, this is going to be a good way of how you can incorporate having a familiar in your life. And that's all I'm going to say because I'll delve more into it when I do the video. And, okay, I'm going to do one more tangent. Since I talked about surrogate familiars, it reminded me of something that I was thinking about earlier this afternoon actually. I'm going to link this website down there below too because it's really awesome. It's called www.pyropetcandles.com. Or maybe it's it's pyropet candles, not pyropets. Yeah, singular. I'm going to link that website below, and it's really, really awesome. So basically what it is that this company makes these animal-shaped candles, and they're geometric in shape, so they have like all these angles and stuff. It forms the animal shape, right? But it's done so with like angles and the geometric pattern. It's really cool. It's all one color, and I'm gonna relink that website when I do the surrogate familiars because it ties into that. But for the sake of this little interjection, one of the types of candles they have is a reindeer, and they have a light blue one and a white one. And what's really cool is that first, these candles have skeletons in them, not real ones. They're metal skeletons, so it's kind of like not like anatomy where it's like accurate as if it was like a real skeleton, but it gives you the general idea of the skeleton for the animal. And for the reindeer, it has gold metal skeleton. Now, this is what gets me thinking. One, they have the white stag reindeer candle. Two, it has the gold um, bone structure. And so it gets me thinking, it's like, is this a pagan company? Because it's just too ironic, because the stag is related to the horn god. The god primary color is usually gold, goddess is silver, so I just found it really interesting. Anyway, um, the what I was thinking is that would be a great way for, if someone bought one of those reindeer candles, specifically the white one. It'd be a great way to use to honor the god and to work with the god throughout the year for all the sabbats and what have you. Now, it burns for 22 hours, and there are 8 sabbats. And I believe when I did my calculations, it came to about 2 and 3/4 hours. Which basically means if you could do a ritual for like 2 hours and 45 minutes and burn it for that, it will be completely burned by the last sabbat, by the 8th sabbat. And so I say all that to say this. Now, I'm going to try and switch my brain into how the popular belief and understanding and working of the god is. Now, I know, and the reason why I say it that way is because how I'm about to talk to you about the god is not how I see it, and it's not how I work with it. However, I do enjoy reading about it and talking about it in discussion. And so, if I mess up, please forgive me. It's not my beliefs or practice, so I don't have it down pat. But from what I understand, the god is dual in nature, whether that means he's seen as the oak and holly king, or he's seen as the son and lover. Now, I do know that some people only see the horned god as the son and lover, and the oak and holly king is related to the green man. That is actually how I see it, and I'm gonna make another little short clip talking about the green man in a minute and how I see him, and I do see him as the oak and holly king. But I know that some people see the horned god that way as well, or they may see it as both. Maybe the holly king is the son and the oak king is the lover. Whatever works for you. And they also see that he's, the reason why he's a horned god and he has the sag is because he's related to the earth, to the animals and all the life on there. And that's why he dies, because he has that earth connection where, there's where death happens and the goddess lives on and on. I understand that. I don't resonate with it, but I do understand it, and I think it's a beautiful story. And so, where was I going with that? I I know that he dies. I think he dies on Samhain. If I'm wrong, again, forgive me. It's not my practice, so I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure he's reborn on Yule. I'm almost positive, and that's why I'm thinking that he dies on Samhain, or at least around Samhain. So anyway, I said all of that to say this: if you get that candle, well, first of all, the wick is between the antlers, and that's really awesome. Why is that awesome? Because another thing about the horn god is that he carries the sun on his antlers in time sky. Now that is something that I do agree with, and that's why I do associate, and because I agree with the sun being associated with the god and the moon with the goddess. And that is a depiction that I totally agree with. And on a side note, no, I'm not going to say that because I don't want to be confusing and all over the place. But so what's really awesome is that the candle has the wick between the antlers. So when you light it, you have that little flame between the antlers, like the ball of the sun being carried by the antlers. Oh, I can't talk today. I hope this video wasn't too confusing. I'm trying to stay focused and, remember to say everything to completion. But I'm kind of tired, and apparently I can't seem to talk appropriately. Oh, I don't have my black tourmaline. That's why. I'll be okay now. I didn't have my black tourmaline. So that's why I was struggling trying to put it in my pocket. So that we don't have to worry about losing it or dropping it. Okay, so on Yule, this was my ritual suggestion for working with the god for the spots. On Yule, you get your candle, you dress it to the god, whatever, you anoint it with whatever oil. Oh, camera was crooked, excuse me. So you anoint it with whatever oil you deem appropriate. Any herbs, put it on a candle plate. You do want to do that because it will pull over. Okay? It is paraffin wax, so if that bothers you. I know it bothers me at a certain point, but I mean, I just think they're too awesome to pass up. But, so you light it on Yule. Now, for me, that's December 20th every year. I know that a lot of people will go off of the actual calendar date, and that's fine. Do what works for you. So, light it on Yule as his rebirth. He comes back. Burn it for like 2 hours, 45 minutes for each Sabbat. You can also further break that down, and I think it breaks down to be about like under 3 minutes every day if you wanted to do it that way. And and the really awesome thing is that as the year goes by, as you live, they say when you're living, you're getting closer to your death. Your body, as soon as you're born, your body starts not decomposing, but breaking down. So the same thing can happen with him when you light it. His body will start breaking down until Samhain, when all dies, he will be dead and be nothing but the skeleton. And I just thought that'd be so awesome, so I wanted to share that little ritual. Do forgive me for it being all over the place. And, I just thought it was so cool. I was like, oh, I have to share that today. I can't wait until I do the, surrogate video. I can't wait till then. I have to share it now. So, and I actually stumbled upon it today because I was remembering all of that, pyropetcandles.com. I was remembering about that when I was thinking about the video. And so I checked them out, and that's a new candle. I don't know how soon they put it out, but yeah, it's definitely new. And they got bunny candles too. And now they have their first scented candle. It's like, wow, they're really expanding. And another one they have is the cat, which was one of their original ones. And when I got them, they only had the gray and the pink. Now they have black, which really makes me think that they're either appealing to the pagan crowd, like with the black cat and the skeleton and all that, or they may be a pagan company. Now, I will let you know that all the candles are named after, like, the cat one is called cat, and the bird is called bird, reindeer is called reindeer, all of that, but it's named after, they use that word in the Icelandic language, so it's hoppa or hopa, which is rabbit or bunny in Icelandic, and so on and so forth with the other ones. And I thought that was really cool as well. Get a little cultural lesson in there. Okay, so now that I did all that random talk, I might actually make this, I'm gonna make this a Whytchy Ramble video instead. I'm sure you're gonna know that because the title will be there, but yeah, because this is a video long within itself, so I'm just gonna do that. And, yeah, come back and do the actual YouTube Pagan Challenge. So, as always, thank you for watching, and blessed be my dear witchlings.